Welcome back to Lommel in Belgium for round 15 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. This is the MXGP of Lommel. My name is Paul Malin, and as you can see, the MX2 riders are out on track, coming towards the end of their sighting lap ahead of MX2 Race 2. The circuit here just over 1,800 meters long, and of course, it's going to be something quite difficult for the riders to tackle. I've just been out on the track, actually. The start straight is, there's a lot more water laying on there than you think, despite the big machine going on there and flattening things out. So the start straight is the first hurdle that the riders have to overcome. And actually, the sand itself is very, very firm. It's saturated with a lot of rain from last night and throughout the day. And so it just makes it very, very heavy for the riders to negotiate. But the new layout here, mixed feelings for the riders. Jed Beaton a moment ago, when I spoke to him, said probably not as bad as he thought it was, but he said obviously with the rain and the heavy conditions, riders all over the place going from one side of the track to the next. But we are on the home stretch here. Look, Lommel today and then Italy. We go there next week for another triple header. The final 3 rounds still to come. And of course, we just need to get this one out of the way. I'm glad to say, though, that the skies are clearing up and there is no rain out on the track as we speak now. So hopefully we can get through this one, although it can change. We've seen it change very, very quickly over the course of the past couple of days. Let's take a look at the highlights from MX2 Race 1, though. If you missed them earlier, here's what they looked like. Over on the far side, gate 5, Tom Vial with his 17th Foxhole shot of the season, but to his left and right, the 2 Yamahas of Watson and Geerts. Watson coming out in 3rd. Conrad Meusch was right there in 4th, and Van De Moosdijk, the man in yellow there, Thibaut Beneston, the newly crowned European 250 champion from Tuesday. Maxine Renau wasn't too far back either, but that was your top 3 or 4, but it all went south for the 193 of Jago Geerts, coming back in the opposite direction, jumped off the track, top of his screen, landed in some soft stuff. He went down, he picked himself up, he would go down again later on in the race, effectively ending his championship, but obviously it's still mathematically possible. Watson was on a charge, though. When he passed Beneston, the floodgates opened, and a whole stream of riders went through, including Van De Moosdijk and Conrad Meusch. Beneston suddenly found himself in 7th. That was Geerts picking himself up again, still outside the points at that point. Isaac Gifting passed Conrad Meusch to move into 5th place, but then he ran into trouble. Watson, though, was on a charge. The pass on Maxime Renau got him into 2nd. Ruben Fernandez out of 8th place around the halfway point. But Watson kept on pushing. He then closed down a 5 or 6 second gap to Vial, took over the lead with about 7 laps to go, and from there, no one saw him. Nervous looks on the faces down there from KTM. Van De Moosdijk made a mistake. That allowed Beneston to close in on him, and Beneston then took that pass for 4th place. Van De Moosdijk suffering with arm pump. Renau into 2nd as he went around the outside of Vial. That, again, was about 3 laps to go, but it was a win for Ben Watson. It was a comfortable win as well. His 2nd race win in the space of a week by 8 seconds over Renau and Vial. Beneston was 4th, Olsen was 5th. That was MX2 Race 1 highlights. And as you can see, the riders down there in the waiting zone getting ready to go out. A few moments ago, Lisa was down on the grid. She caught up with the Hitachi KTM fueled by Milwaukee rider Conrad Meusch. Before that, the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Thomas Olsen.
MX2 Race 2 is about to get underway very shortly. Let's catch up with a couple of guys. The first being Thomas Olsen from Rockstar Energy Husqvarna MX2 team. TKO, looking at today so far with you, it looked like you struggled a little bit at time practice. Is that fair to say? But the first race, pretty solid result in P5. How was it for you?
Yeah, like you said, time practice wasn't the best. I've been struggling a little bit in that this year, but I know once the racing gets going, I normally can pull something good out of the head. So I found a little bit better flow in that first moto, and hopefully second moto will be even better.
Because obviously they made changes to this track. It looked a bit wider and a little bit faster. Do the wider conditions perhaps suit you a little bit more, do you think?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. It definitely is a bit faster, and the bumps are like a little bit sharper and stuff, yeah. But it's definitely tough out there, especially with the rain we had and stuff. It also slows things down a little bit, but it's the same for everybody, and I'm going to give it my all for this last moto of Lommel.
Have a good race. Thank you.
Thank you.
Time now to catch up with Conrad Meusch, and believe it or not, it is actually Conrad Meusch, although he doesn't look like he's in disguise. Conrad, you missed the second GP here in Lommel, didn't you, due to tonsillitis? Just tell us how you're feeling now, and was that first race pretty tough? Were you a little bit ring rusty there?
Yeah, it's been, for sure, it's been a really difficult week for us. I was pretty wrote off all week, and yeah, I couldn't believe it, you know, the day before the first event here, and I managed to pick up a sickness. So what would have been a good GP for me has turned out to be a bit of a disaster, to be honest. But yeah, I done what I could in that motor. I managed to take a really good start and held in for as long as I could, but I just got no strength out there, and I'm doing what I can with the cards I'm dealt. So, but we're going to give it my all again in this one, and see how this one plays out. But
of course, a totally different racetrack to this one than the first one this morning, hey?
Yeah, it's to be honest, it's took the rain quite well. It's roughened up a bit more. It's a lot ruttier. And for sure it's a lot more technical, but yeah, no, it's good. It's got a nice flow to it. It's a lot more physically demanding, which doesn't play in my court today, but yeah, no, like I said, we're going to try and really focus on this start for the second race and put myself in a great position.
Have a good one.
Thanks,
you. Conrad. Good luck to the guys. It's time for MX2 race 2.
So the calm before the storm then. Hopefully there won't be a storm of the weather variety. Riders, just so you see to the left, making their way to the gate. Let's take a look at the top 5 in the championship after that first race then. Tom Vialle was 61 points clear of Jago Geerts. He's now 73 clear of the Belgian after a different, or difficult race, I should say, for Jago Geerts. Maxime Renau is third. Jed Beaton, 17 behind Renau in fourth. Olsen, 17 behind his teammate. Watson is creeping up on all of them, though, in sixth place, just 4 behind TKO after that win in race 1. Here's how the riders line up. Same as they did for race 1, as always. Roan Van De Moosdijk on pole for the fifth time, sorry. Jago Geerts goes to line second, ahead of Conrad Meusch, Maxime Renau, Tom Vialle, Ben Watson, Thibaut Beneston. On his debut in 7th, turned that into a 4th in race 1. Then we got Isaac Gifting, Cyril Janot, Alvin Austin, Ruben Fernandez, and the rest of the guys you can see on screen. I was just down on the track a few moments ago, if you're just joining us. The start straight actually holding a lot more moisture than I thought, and also behind the waiting zone there, behind the skybox, behind the pit line area, the sand a lot firmer than I would have anticipated, but that's the thing here with this track. It really does start to sort of saturate up. There's Ben Watson, Monster Energy Yamaha, Factory MX2, the winner from race 1. A good start here. Is he looking at his first overall Grand Prix victory? Who knows? Roan Van De Moosdijk, F&H Kawasaki, arm pump in race 1. Forced him from 4th down to 6th by the time the checkered flag fell. So he just said after 10 minutes, I don't really know how or why or whatever. It was a long 20 minutes after that. Tom Vialle held it for 10 laps before Watson went through on lap 11 and eventually faded to 3rd. Conditions not easy, and a difficult race for Jago Geerts, who eventually came home in 13th position after that lap 1 crash. 73 points down on Vialle now. Thibaut Beneston, a fantastic ride for the Frenchman. He started 4th, went as low as 7th, and then clawed his way back to 4th by the time the checkered flag fell. Maxime Renau, the Yamaha SM Action MC Miuri J1 racing rider. Just spoke to him a few moments ago down there as well before they went to the line. And he's made some suspension changes ahead of this second race. The Fly Racing 15-second board is up for the final time here in Belgium. MX2, race 2, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Who will it be that grabs that all-important foxhole shot? We will soon find out any moment now. Oh, no, Renau tried to anticipate early. Vialle out of the blocks early. But Jago Geerts up the inside. Where is Watson? Watson is buried. He's on the inside here. About 10th or 11th position, so he's got some work to do already, but it's Geerts who leads the way. Vialle around the outside in 2nd, Van De Moosdijk 3rd, Rubini. There is Watson, just behind Meusch and Sandner. Vialle quickly into 2nd place. So Geerts leads as they go past pit lane. Tom Vialle 2nd, Van De Moosdijk 3rd, Olsen 4th. Rubini is in 5th place. No, it's Olsen now, then Rubini, then Fernandez, then Gifting. As they tip into that left-right combination. See, they've done some work on the track, just taken out some of the bumps here, forcing the riders a little bit wider. But entering the point on the racetrack where your race leader fell in race 1, he was over to the right-hand side as they tripled into the wave section, jumped off the side of the track over to his right. That pretty much ended his championship, but at the end of the waves here, Vial still there in second. Van De Moosdijk putting in a charge in third. Olsen 4. Wants this one to be a good race 2 at the final Lommel round, he says. This is where I was stood, looking around. Very, very firm, the conditions here. As Van De Moosdijk squeezes Vial, pushes him back into third place. Vial not used to going backwards on the first lap here, but he'll try to respond immediately. He gets back alongside the 39, who will have the inside line going into the final corner, and he may even take over the lead from Jago Geerts, but the Belgian puts the squeeze on the Dutchie. So the first 2-3 riders heading towards the line now. Geerts, Van De Moosdijk and Vial. Watson in 9th place at the moment. So your winner from race 1 with a lot of work to do. Already 6.5 seconds off the pace. Dropping into turn 3. The sand here nice and loose. There's Gifting. I tell you what, he's not taking any prisoners, is he? Charges down the inside of Olsen, moves himself up into 4th place. He's only got one thing on his mind: top 3 or better. Watch this here. Just got out of the line early, seized an opportunity with both hands. There's Vial. Gifting looking at the rear of the World Championship leader. And almost alongside him. A battle for third here. Again, Vial not really used to this kind of opening lap or two. Being challenged, normally he gets a whole shot and disappears, lets everybody else push on and maybe make mistakes, but he's been passed by Van De Moosdijk, and he's being challenged by Isaac Gifting as he tries to hang on to 3rd place. Olsen sat back there in 5th, the 3rd rider in shot. Fernandez 6th, Watson now 7th, so all of a sudden he's come to life. There he is, just past Fernandez in 6th place now. So Watson there's your race leader. There's Van De Moosdijk, there's Vial, but the action going on behind, because Watson from 9th to 6th in the space of a lap this time around, so making passes very, very rapidly as he eyes up a potential first ever Grand Prix. Just behind Olsen here, coming in to land on the finish line jump any moment now. We'll see what that gap is. There he is. So a 2:06 in traffic, that's on par with Geerts, the race leader. Gifting also in the 2:06s. Everyone else in 7s, and behind Watson, 10s and 11s. So 25.5 minutes plus 2. Still a long time to go here, obviously. Gifting just getting bounced around. Watson is closing in fast. Look, there he is. 9:19, just behind the 19. This is a good opening couple of laps for Watson. Olsen goes too deep. Watson gets on the power. And looking at making a pass at the end of the straight. Don't think he will go through there, though. You can see the leads are just ahead of him. But one race, one lap at a time. Fernandez, Renau giving chase to Watson. Those two in 7th and 8th. Ravini 9. Benistan is 10th place. Jed Beaton in 11th. And Isaac Gifting has found his way past Tom Vial. Here's how. Gets alongside and goes around the outside, the number 28. That's just before the first hill. Just there in that bottom right corner of the screen. Anyway, there's Maxine Renau. He is in 7th now. Has he found his way past Fernandez? Or has Fernandez fallen? Not sure. Anyway, he's found his way past the Spaniard either way. So we'll just figure these numbers out in a moment, but Jago Geerts Leading from the front this time around, Fox Holshot number 6 for the Monster Energy Yamaha rider right at the start of the race. Just needs to keep a calm composure about him. Here's Watson. As he hits the line this time around, he's going to be your overall winner, Grand Prix-wise, even if it stays like this. So Geerts, 2:04.8, the fastest lap of the race by a country mile. 2:07, or 2:06 for Van De Moosdijk in second. 2:05 Gifting. 2:08 Vial and Olsen. Watson 2:07. And Watson on 40 points. Vial on 38. Van De Moosdijk 37. Renau 36. Oh, Vial just folding the front. He's in 4th place at the moment. Olsen not gaining, but Watson is gaining on both of them. Wonder if Tom Vial is now starting to think about the championship. Obviously 73 points in with 3 rounds to go after this one. Oh, Gifting. The Diga Pro Cross Gas rider just a little untidy, 2 corners in a row. Pushing hard for Van De Moosdijk. He's in 3rd. He's in a top 3 position, has never finished there before. The rider who joined us just 6-7 rounds ago in Mantova, of course. Anyway, here's Gifting. Here's Gifting. Just neatly done through that part of the racetrack. Vial just trying to pick up on... Oh, he gets bounced there in the background. Just came up short on a hole. Roan Van De Moosdijk sitting there in second. He's looking at 3rd overall at the moment. He doesn't have a lot of wriggle room, though, because he's only got a point to play with. Maxine Renau is just a point behind. Here's Watson closing in on Olsen, and Vial just ahead of them. So the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna doing his best to stay ahead of the Monster Energy Yamaha. These 2 riders just getting caught at the moment. Oh, and Jago Geerts off again. Picks himself up. So that was just out of the final turn. Throwing away the lead, Jago Geerts. He just set the fastest lap of the race, a 2:04.8. So who is your new leader? Is it Van De Moosdijk? Well, there is Geerts just dropping in front of his teammate. Oh, Watson tries to get past him early. So Van De Moosdijk leads. Gifting second, Vial 3rd, Olsen 4th. Geerts 5th, Watson 6th. All change at the top. And Vial will see that once again. Just turning out to be one of those spells for Jago Geerts, unfortunately. Van De Moosdijk leads, though. That will put him on 40 points, same as Watson. He will be the new Grand Prix leader. The leader of the Grand Prix overall, because he will advance 3 points. Anyway, here's Jago Geerts going back after Olsen. Where's Watson? Oh, Watson's made a mistake because Renau all over the back of him. Watson losing a lot of time behind his teammate. Has Renau gone through? No, not quite. But just losing a little bit of rhythm here, Watson, at the moment, as Renau gets back onto the rear wheel of your winner from race 1. Just needs to regroup. Maybe not think about the overall. I'm sure he's not at this stage. He's had some hard races coming through, a lot of traffic. What's the gap at the moment? Back to Watson as he's over the line between 1st and 6th. 10.6 seconds he is off of Roan Van De Moosdijk. 19 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Gifting second. He was slower than Van De Moosdijk. A bobble there for Renau in red. That just helps Watson ever so slightly. Vial is third. All of a sudden, he's upped his pace. The fastest rider out of the top 4. He'll believe he can go and get a race win. There he is, just the other side of the ad banners there. Beniston in 8th place now. Jed Beaton 9, Rubini 10, Meusch 11, Malkovich 12, Austin, Borgmo, Pollock, Varson, Luciano, James Carpenter, Glenn Mayer and Richard Sikina as we look at the 39 of F&H Kawasaki's Roan Van De Moosdijk. Yet to win a race in MX2. Wow, there's your podium right there. Next mistake decides it possibly. Or Watson finding his way past at least one rider, which would have to be his teammate at the moment. Roan Van De Moosdijk going for a race win, has never won a MX2 race. And Vial starting to look interested as well. There's the gap. There's Van De Moosdijk right out the far end. Geerts has found his way past Olsen, so Olsen now dropping down to 5th place as Geerts goes through. There's Watson in the background, losing ground with these guys. That's going to put him from 1st place, where he was, to 3rd. Because obviously with his teammate's mistake, that's handed those 3 points to Van De Moosdijk. This was the pass on Olsen. Jumping long, closing in on Vial. So the top 3 all on the same points. Van De Moosdijk, Vial, Watson. Jago Geerts could change that here though, as Vial takes a cheeky look over his shoulder. Wants to know who's there. Well, there's confirmation of your Fox Hole Shot winner, Jago Geerts, for the 6th time this season. Was comfortably leading as well until a couple of laps ago. Story of his year, story of the second half of the season for him, really. Anyway, Watson still in 6th place, losing ground to Olsen, is he? About 3 or 4 seconds further back at the moment. Could do with a favour from his teammate here at the very least, just to push him up to 2nd in the overall standings, because Van De Moosdijk will still win if he stays there in 1st place on 40 points. But we've seen how strong Watson can be in the latter stages of these races, but maybe just not feeling it at the moment. Who knows? Because there he is, struggling to get on terms with Olsen as Geerts triples in. 1st and 2nd in the championship right there. Separated by 75 points right now. Outside line being fluffed up, so everybody using that same optimum line. Makes it difficult then for riders to make up time when you've got lines like that that get smoothed out in between races. Someone like Watson who prefers that technical element. Is he starting to close in on Olsen? I think he might be again. Last time around, Olsen was a 2:09.3, exactly the same as Watson, but I think we might see Watson just closing in ever so. Yeah, he is, look there. So Olsen over the line, a 2:09.6, Watson a 2:07.7, so he's picking the pace back up. His Grand Prix victory is in his own hands now. He finds his way past Olsen. That will give him 41 points. One more than Van De Moosdijk, your race leader, who can't overtake any more riders. Vial being closed down by Jago Geerts would be the favour that Ben Watson needs as well. But they're both ganging up on Isaac Gifting, a back marker ahead of the Swede. Back marker moves over and out of the way though. So this is 2nd place, Isaac Gifting. If Vial finds his way past the 5:17, have we lost Jago Geerts? We have again. Not sure what happened there, but Ah, he is mad. Can't get that peacock. Oh, did he hit that hole? Yeah. Oh, face plants the jump as well. It is going from bad to worse. And Michele Levati cannot believe it. All of a sudden, Vial, if he finds his way past Gifting, is going to jump to the top of the Grand Prix classification. Gifting will do his best to keep him back there, though. The Diga Procross Gas rider. It was close. Gifting still there for now. Even closer in this next turn. Ooh. Anyway, working their way towards the end of lap 7. Van De Moosdijk still leads comfortably over Gifting, who is not so comfortable in second. Got Vial breathing down his neck. 2:10.7 for Gifting, a 2:09.9 for Vial. Olsen is 4th, Watson now 5th. And Vial easily past Gifting there. Got an inside line, got better drive. And he's now into second. That will put him top, because he will go from 3rd to 2nd. He'll gain 2 points. He'll go 1 clear of Watson, who is leading the classification this time around on 41 points. Watson needs Olsen for 2 more points to win the GP with Vial there. But where is Watson? There he is, just behind Olsen. Olsen closing down the door on the Yamaha man. Jago Geerts in 10th place after that mistake. Back markers need to stay out of the way. Oh, it's heavy landing there twice for Olsen. This one is just too close to call in terms of the overall classification. Watson needs this pass. Ah, Gifting straight back past Vial. All of a sudden, Watson does continue to lead. Oh, he's not laying down easily, is he? Isaac Gifting. He is taking it to the championship leader. Fantastic effort this from the Swede. He's looking comfortable as well, isn't he? Very comfortable. Not an easy place to race. Had a lot of rain over the last 24 hours, makes it even more difficult, even tougher. Van De Moosdijk was 8.3 seconds clear at the end of lap 7. He's already over the line, 8 laps into the race. There he is going in the opposite direction. Here's Gifting and Vial, 8.9 seconds. So, again, these two marginally slower than the race leader, fighting over second place. For Vial, this position at the moment would give him the Grand Prix classification. Watson needs to find his way past Olsen to be sure of the overall. Oh, that was Gifting getting better drive into the wave section, so he just went round the outside of Vial, and then he was on the commanding line along the straight into the next right. Right, Beniston is 11th. He's lost a couple of positions to Geerts and Meusch and Rubini. The boys upstairs and downstairs urging Vial on. They know a pass will guarantee the GP. The Yamaha team likewise urging Watson on. They know he has to pass Olsen. Just to be sure of the Grand Prix victory. Olsen closing up on Vial now. Broken free from Watson. Here's Jago Geerts. You can't help but feel for the lad. Meanwhile, this kid has been so cool. But he's about to get roughed up here by Olsen. Olsen won't get on the podium at the moment, but you know what? He won't mind a top 3 race finish. And Olsen being held up here by Vial. Hopefully that plays into the hands of Watson, who is going after his first Grand Prix victory. Of course, Watson won't need to pass Olsen if Olsen goes by Vial, because it will take another point away from him, gives him just a little bit more daylight in terms of that overall victory himself. He's on top at the moment on 41 points, but another point here or there would do the Brit just nicely as Vial gets good drive out of that turn. It's very heavy coming out of that corner when I walk down there. You can feel it. What's going on here then? Rubini on Meusch. Bobble there for Meusch, but Rubini was already falling up on him through the wave section. That's for 9th place. Third, 4th. Vial and Olsen. There's Watson. He still sits on the top step of the podium as it stands right now. Gifting disappearing in 2nd place. Almost identical lap times to Van De Moosdijk. Isaac Gifting that time around. But the gap's still 8.9 seconds. See how heavy it is coming out of that turn as they drop into that, out of that left-hander. A good run there for Olsen. Vial just not quite efficient at the end. Olsen goes to the inside. Watson coming back into play. All of a sudden, 3rd, 4th and 5th are going to be together by the time they hit the finish line. Vial going defensive. Olsen around the outside. Watson going with him as well. And Olsen does move past Vial into 3rd. That almost guarantees Watson victory as long as he can keep it on 2 wheels, of course. But with 2 riders ahead of him, Watson will be looking. Oh, look at that. There's a nervous dad looking at the time. Yeah, 6.5 minutes or thereabouts to go. Olsen all over the back of, in fact, that's Sander. That's a lap rider. The other gas rider. Right, Olsen comes in, lands heavily. There is 3rd, 4th and 5th. Blue flags for Sander. Not paying too much attention to them at the moment. Needs to get out of the way. And stay out of the way as well. Because so far we've seen Van De Moosdijk go through, we've seen his teammate go through. He needs to keep off the race line. Unreal. Vial gets caught behind Sander. Watson, this will play into his hands though. Right, now he decides to move off the race line, but that's Watson's race line, and he gets caught behind a back marker as well, behind Jan Panzer. Frantic moments here as this GP is being duked out. Watch this here. Just gets parked to the inside. I can't believe Michael Sander is still there, and that is the danger when the back markers race with the leaders when they come through. That was him that just fell in the wave section, but it took him almost a full lap before he moved over. He was not willing to move over and out of the way. Anyway, Vial breaking free from Watson for now. 4.5 minutes plus 2 to go. It's going to be the longest 4.5 minutes of Watson's life, probably. It's probably been the longest race of his life. Who knows? Just having to be patient. Oh, nicely done there. Gets the distance that he wanted on the run towards the finish line. So in 5th place. Still hanging on. by a point. Watson on 40, Van De Moosdijk, sorry, 41. Van De Moosdijk 40, Vial on 38. There is Vial. Watson closing in still between 2 and 3 on the corners on the racetrack. Gifting 7 seconds clear of these. He's going for a career best race finish. It's going to be 6th overall as well for Gifting. But 4th overall he was the other day on Wednesday. Rubini and Beniston. So these two 9th and 10th. Beniston closing in on his, yes he is, by about a second that time around. So Thibaut Beniston, this will be 7th overall for him in his first MX2 Grand Prix. Jago Geerts now 7th. He's found his way past Jed Beaton. That was already a lap or so ago, but anyway, Watson down the inside of Vial. Wow, how much speed and commitment was there from Watson. And down the inside of Vial, dancing his way round. The KTM rider at the end of the straight. Nicely done there. He's going to park him down the inside here. Vial not wanting to get involved. So Vial down to 5th now. Vial hasn't finished outside of the top 4 positions, apart from twice. Race 1, Matchley Basin, 6th. Race 2 at Italy, Mantova, when he was 14th. So all of a sudden, Watson now in the 4th place, puts daylight between himself and Van De Moosdijk to the tune of 3 points in the overall classification. 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go. The longest 2 minutes plus 2 of Watson's career, surely. He knows he can't afford to switch off or relax because Vial will strike back if he gets the opportunity. But all this week, Watson, and he's got visibility issues there, goes out with tear-offs. He's not a fan of roll-offs, and I think he's out of laminates. Giving it the thumb wipe just a moment ago rather than a pull of the tear-off. He'll try and keep those goggles on as long as possible. And again, look. So a minute to go, so it's going to be 3 laps to go. Actually, where is Van De Moosdijk on this battle? Yeah, 20 seconds further up the track. There he is. Is he going to take him? It's going to be 3 laps anyway. Based on where he is. Great ride this from the F&H Kawasaki. Haven't seen too much of him, but he is also on the verge of making his own little piece of history with a career race, first in a race win situation. Back markers. Watson needs to be careful, yeah, ducking his eyes, ducking his head, wants to keep those goggles on as long as possible. 258, Johannes Nerman, the A1M Husqvarna rider. And Vial is in 5th, and no Vial on the podium. That's been a while since that's happened. Vial hasn't been off the podium since Mantova 1, where he was 6th overall. He's only been off the podium twice all year. The other time was Riga, the second Latvian round, where he was 4th overall. Other than that, 1st, 2nd or 3rd. So he's going to be 5th overall if things stay the way they are. So 3 laps to go. There's Jago Geerts. Coming over the... just trying to pick up points now. He's in 7th place. Been an absolute disastrous Belgian run for him, hasn't it? In terms of, yeah, second and third overall, but losing points to Vial and losing more points here in this race. There's Maxime Renau. Haven't seen too much of him. He's about to go past Vial as well. Vial over on the right, left now as we look at it. So Maxime Renau getting alongside Tom Vial, who looks across hopelessly. It's the second time we've seen this, only the second time we've seen this year, or maybe the third, was Riga, and then of course in Mantova, when he got passed on a regular basis, Tom Vial. He'll just try and focus now on keeping himself upright on two wheels as he struggles around this Lommel circuit. So Renau up the 5th, Vial down to 6th. Will this put Renau on the podium? Renau is on the podium, actually. As it stands right now, we've got Watson, Van De Moosdijk, Renau, 43, 40, and 37. He will gain a point or two, or 18, another point. So he'll still be third. But Roan Van De Moosdijk, 2 laps to go for the F&H Kawasaki. 7 seconds clear of Isaac Gifting. Those two lapping identical times again, pretty much. Tom Vial in 6th place, just struggling a little bit. Anyway, Van De Moosdijk, your race leader. Looking very good right from the moment that he took over the lead. Gifting is in 2nd, 6.8 seconds behind. Olsen is 3rd. In the top 3 for the Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider. 4th is Watson, 18 seconds off the lead. There is the Monster Energy Yamaha man. He is on course for taking his first ever Grand Prix victory on what has been a fantastic run of races here for the Englishman. 23-year-old has to go to MXGP next year. Been a podium a year for the last 2 years, and then all of a sudden he gets 3 so far this year. Mantova 2. Mantova 1, and then 2 here. Sunday and Wednesday, 3rd and 2nd. We asked the question at the start of the day, could he go one better today and go 3-2-1? Would be the absolute perfect scenario for him. Initially, when I spoke to him, he wasn't overly keen on the new layout, just said the other track had more of a flow to it, but he's dug in deep. A winner in race 1, currently 4th in race 2. And looking at taking the overall Grand Prix victory, he will just have 1 more lap to go, because Roan Van De Moosdijk starts his final lap. He's 2¼ minutes away from 25 points for the first time in his career. Gifting 7.8 seconds behind, then Olsen, then Watson. Here he is. Watson a 2:13, quicker than everybody ahead of him. 2:15 for Moosdijk, 16 for Gifting, 14 Olsen, and a 13 for Watson. He'll just maintain his focus. I wonder what the board will say this time around. Wonder if we'll get a camera down there on Watson's board, letting him know that he is going to win the Grand Prix. Guess we'll pay attention as he goes past pit lane this time around, will we? But another fantastic ride for Watson. Renau 5, Vial 6, Geerts 7, Beaton 8. Watson down past pit lane for the final time. Last lap is all it says. So still not letting him know, but he's probably figured out in his own mind after race 1, where he was the winner and Renau was 2nd. He's ahead of Renau. He finished ahead of Vial. He probably already knows in his own mind that he is on the verge of making his own bit of history here today. Thomas Olsen, 2 back markers ahead of him, Morgan Leciado and Ashton Dickinson. Olsen in third, 5 seconds down on Gifting. Where is Gifting? Oh, he's right there ahead of him. All of a sudden, Olsen trying to put on a charge for second on the final lap here. He was 2 seconds quicker than Gifting last time around. Gifting cannot afford to switch off, and a bobble there as well for the Swede. He is hanging on as best he can for that second place finish. Wow, what a great ride for Gifting though. And an even better ride for the number 39, Roan Van De Moosdijk, the F&H Kawasaki rider, finally wins a race in MX2. It's going to be second overall. Gifting second, Olsen third as they hit the line. Fantastic ride for Gifting, he's pumped. But Ben Watson, he will round out the final corner in fourth position. Watson wins the Grand Prix. We missed it. Ben Watson, he wins the Grand Prix. And his brother there, the first to congratulate him, Nathan Watson. And that was a big, big moment for the Monster Energy rider. Ben Watson, third on Sunday, second on Wednesday. Your overall winner here today for the first time in his career.
We are waiting for Tom. Yes, there he comes. Ja, ik denk mooie remonte nog van Jago.
Van De Moosdijk, emotions all round. Quick hug from the Czech. But he's over the moon with that. Congratulations all round for Van De Moosdijk, his first ever race win. Watson, his first ever Grand Prix victory. And we will talk to Ben Watson, our Grand Prix winner, in just a few moments' time. But what a nail-biting MX2 round we had here, round 15, the MXGP of Lommel. Vial in sixth, faded 43.5 seconds off the lead. Very unlike the performances we've seen from the Frenchman, who has won the last 3 rounds. Spain, Belgium 1 and Belgium 2, if you like. Flanders, there he is, 6th overall today. Anyway, here is our overall winner, Ben Watson.
Ben Watson, emotions all round. You did it. You got your first MX2 overall victory.
Honestly, I have absolutely no words. Just thank you to everyone who's made this happen. Up the GP winner. I cannot believe it.
It's well deserved, Ben. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now go and have a bloody good shout. Yes. Anyway, Ben Watson, 4th in the race, paired up with his win from race 1, his second race win of the season. He turns it into a Grand Prix victory for the first time ever in his career. Monster Energy Yamaha's Factory MX2 rider, Ben Watson, on the top step of the podium here, round 15, the first time in his MX2 career. Congratulations, Ben Watson, and everybody over there at Monster Energy Yamaha. I wonder who will be on the podium, Hans Korvers or Marnik Mavoorts? Roan Van De Moosdijk wins race 2 from Isaac Gifting and Olsen. Watson 4th, Renau 5th, Vial 6th, Geerts 7th and Beaton 8th. 9th for Albin Osland and 10th for Rubini. Beniston 11, good performance for him today. Vassen, Meusch, Malkovich, Renkins and Horgmo rounding out your top 16 with Luciano, Pollock, Nerman and Meyer. The overall, Ben Watson takes his first ever Grand Prix victory here in the sands of Lommel. Van De Moosdijk, 2nd overall, Renault rounding out the top 3. Olsen and Gifting rounding out the top 5. Jago Geerts, a day to forget for the Belgian, 9th overall, 22 points for the Yamaha man. Vial continues to lead the championship though, and despite finishing 6th in race 2, has extended his lead by another point over Jago Geerts. Well, a few more points actually with both races, but just the greater scheme of things, Vial is far and away now into the distance with just 3 rounds to go, 6 races left. Yamaha lead the way in the manufacturer standings, though. They are on 6.75, KTM on 6.67. Still very tight at the top between those two. Anyway, let's take a look at the foxhole shot, shall we? Jago Geerts for the 6th time. Monster Energy Yamaha rider, face battered and bruised after, well, he's given that a good old whack, hasn't he? Probably the last place he wants to be right now, but he does pick up a foxhole shot for the 6th time this year. Wasn't able to turn it into a race win, though, as he had hoped.
In the MX2 class, round 15, the 3rd place on the podium, we are calling on the Yamaha, Maxine Renau.
Maxine Renau, Yamaha SM Action, MC Meusch, J1 Racing, stands on the 3rd step of the podium. This is 4th podium of the season. Roan Van De Moosdijk, though, 2nd overall. He's already been 2nd on 2 previous occasions, both of those in Latvia, so his 5th podium of the year for the Dutch rider at F&H Kawasaki Racing. But Ben Watson, Monster Energy Yamaha, Factory MX2, stands on the top step of the podium for what has been an absolutely sensational 3 rounds here in Belgium for the Brit. 3rd overall on Sunday, 2nd overall on Wednesday. He makes it to the top step today, and he's finally realised a dream come true. Is that Hansi? Or is it Marnie? Can't quite see from here. The masked crusader. Looks like it's Hans Corvers, actually. But 3rd overall, Maxime Renau.
2nd, also with the trophy,
Roan Van De Moosdijk, 2nd overall.
And the winner, of course, also
And Ben Watson, Monster Energy Yamaha, Factory MX2, takes his 1st ever winner's trophy. Oh, he's going to be a mess when they start playing the national anthem in a moment. He's already bubbling up now, bless him. Marnik Bavorts, the team manager, with the team trophy. Tom Bial, though, who was a little bit off the pace today. He continues to lead the championship. There he is with the red plate, the Red Bull KTM rider. But your top 3, Ben Watson, Roan Van De Moosdijk, Maxime Renau, and your championship leader, Tom Bial. Might even have to stand up myself. A little bit of God Save the Queen. I'm going to turn it up loud and proud. Ben Watson, your overall winner today. Your top 3 here today: Ben Watson, Monster Energy Yamaha, Factory MX2, Roan Van De Moosdijk, F&H Kawasaki, and Maxime Renau, Yamaha SM Action, MC Meusch, J1 Racing. We will talk to the top 3 at the other side of these best moments.
Next week in Italy, in Pietramoura.
Ben Watson, first MX2 overall victory, another race win in that first race, a little bit more work to do in race 2, but you brought it home and you did it. It's been such a great few rounds here in Lommel for you, hasn't it?
Honestly incredible. I mean, the first race I rode incredible. I felt really good all the way through and I made a real smart race, and in the second one there I just took a bad start and I fell to pieces a little bit. I really didn't ride good, but I just kept putting the laps in. I made quite a lot of mistakes and yeah, I was able to finish third and take the victory, but just a massive thank you to the whole of the Monster Energy factory Yamaha MX2 team, everyone who's back home, my girlfriend, all the Jet Life, my parents who travel around the world, Oakley, CTI, Contract Furniture Group, just thank you.
Congrats, Ben, thank you. Second overall today we have Roan Van De Moosdijk. Roan, it was actually really close for the overall victory, but I'll tell you what, looking at today, you got your first MX2 race win. That's a massive achievement in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I struggled the first moto with quite bad arm pump, but I turned it around in the second moto, much better start. And yeah, followed the leaders, and then yeah, Jago made a mistake, and it was quite. Mentally it was quite tough to lead, you know, especially the last laps, but I'm really happy to get my first race win, and I'm looking forward to more. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Roan. Third overall today we have Maxine Renau. Maxine, it's been a while since we've seen you on the podium, but you've got a second and a fifth, just a really solid day for you. Tell us about your races.
Yeah, it was a solid day. First moto was really good. Finished second, so that was really good. Second one, I started a little bit more far and then had to push during the moto and struggled a bit on the track. So yeah, I would expect a little bit better, but for sure third overall is really good. Always getting on the podiums is so good, and the championship is still third, so that's really good.
Thanks, Maxine.
Thank you.
Maxime Renau, third overall, takes his fourth podium of the season. He was second in the Netherlands. He was a winner in Italy at Faenza. He was second there as well, and he gets another one here today. Roan Van De Moosdijk, though, FNH Kawasaki Racing. Well, good day for him, picking up his first ever race win, his fifth podium of the season as well. But all eyes were on Ben Watson. He said he fell apart in the race a little bit, but he did knuckle down, and he manages to bring it home with a 1-4 for his first ever overall Grand Prix win. The first Brit since Max Anstey in MX2, who was in 2016, he won here, and then a week later in Switzerland. It's been long overdue, but Ben Watson will go home. He will enjoy this one, but he still knows there's work to done. There's 3 rounds left to go, but Ben Watson, your overall winner here at the MXGP of Lommel. Right, we are out of time. We'll be back in just 30 seconds time for MXGP Race 2. We'll see you then.